Welcome back to the Market Moon Lord for another AMC Financial Astrology video update that we've been doing since the beginning of last year. Let's go. I appreciate each and every one of you guys for showing support. I can't believe it's been a whole year, but here we are. It's been quite a journey. If you're new on this channel, go ahead and subscribe because it's AMC DD that you literally cannot get anywhere else. That's big facts. Okay, we've been tracking AMC since the very beginning of this entire thing, especially the moon phases. You know, certain stocks like AMC does trade with the moon phases. We're about to get into that. I know it's been a crazy ride, but I've been telling, just like I told you guys months before that the run up we had early June, I said, hey, that May eclipse at the end of May looks beautiful for a run up. And we got that. I called it out months before. And then after that run up, I've been calling out the fact that the next big move will more than likely be in January of 2022. You guys let me know in the comments if you guys have been watching the channel since then, if you guys remember when I called that out. And since we are on the 1-year anniversary, let me know how many original Moon Lords are still here, and just let the community know that we're still holding. So here we are. Now, if it doesn't work out now, my next big prediction, which I also been calling out, is in March. But let's see if this month plays out the way I predicted. I definitely have some serious reasons for that, and I'm definitely going to tell you why. But before we do that, we're going to check out the moon phases, okay? Today, actually tomorrow, which is Sunday, January 2nd, we have a new moon. You guys know during new moons, it's a time where the stock is more likely going to start going up on an incline. And after the full moon, it's a waning moon, and that's typically the time we see downtrends. And we, of course, got that, which is why I didn't even put out a video last week, because I was waiting until this new moon. So before I get into the moon phases for AMC, go ahead and show some love by hitting that like button. I definitely appreciate you guys for being here. Let's check out the charts now. Okay, guys, so you guys know what this chart's all about. The blue backgrounds is a waxing moon when the moon is growing. The black backgrounds is a waning moon when the moon is dying, okay? We know the stock market has a lot to do with the emotions, and the moon is what rules emotions in astrology. Now, not every stock follows the moon phases, but if you do have a stock that's a good candidate for that by either IPOing on a new moon, full moon, or around some type of big moon phase, then that stock is more than likely to trade with the moon phases. Of course, you need to check it out and look at it, but AMC is definitely one we've been checking out, looking at. We know it goes to the motherfucking moon phases. Let's go. Okay. Now, we've been doing this since the beginning of January, and hey, it's getting crazier and crazier and crazier and crazier, okay? That's no lie. It's harder and harder to make predictions, okay? We have been seeing AMC move with the moon phases, but they're not big moves. It's not like a huge shift. It's kind of been hovering in the same area, okay? Now, if I look over here, we're over here, guys, and you can see these lines I've had, and the lines are based on the highs and lows of other moon phases. So I told you guys, if we got a full moon pop last year, or well, it was last year, but last week or 2 weeks ago when we had the full moon, I said, hey, we could see a pop. But if we get over 28, we need to get over 34 for us to get another pop. We never reached there. The highest we ever went was the 3250 level, and then we kept heading down. So it's pretty obvious, guys. This is the full moon. It's pretty obvious we had a full moon pop. It just wasn't a big enough pop, right? It didn't go anywhere. But the full moon pop did happen, so to me, I'm very happy about that. Now, the cool thing about the pop happening, it didn't last, but we started coming down. Now we know we need to see it go down a little bit for it to reverse on the new moon. So typically, if it's going down on a waning period, the black background, then when it becomes a waxing period, which is, we're here now, Monday will be a waxing period, that's typically when we'll start seeing a shift of the previous trend. So based on the moon phases, it's a good chance that in the next week, we should start reversing, okay? Now, typically, before the new moon, we start reversing, okay? And this time, we really didn't do that. If you look here, we had a little bit of a reverse before the new moon, a little bit of reverse before the new moon, a little bit of reverse before the new moon. But this new moon, we didn't get that, okay? We've been strictly going down. So this is a little iffy situation. There is a possibility, just the fact that we're still going down, there's no signs of reversal, that we would continue to go down. Now, the lowest level, and I'm going to stand by this, would be this $17 level. And that's a big level that a lot of people are talking about because it's filling the gap over here. The same thing with the moon phases. However, we never made it under 20. So I don't think that's likely. Okay. But that would be like the absolute bottom. But sorry, I don't know if you hear that, but I'm recording this literally. I'm dedicated to you guys. It's literally 12:15, and I'm over here 12:15 a.m. New Year's. My girlfriend's pissed because I'm over here recording this for you guys instead of hanging out with them. But I said nope. I know I'm going to be out late, and I'm not going to do it in the morning, so I'm going to do it right now. I'm starting this year out all about AMC. Let's go. And my New Year's resolution or New Year's wish was about AMCs too. But I'm sure that's a lot of other people's wish as well. Now, where was I? So yeah, there isn't anything pointing to a reversal at this time. And typically, we do get some type of reversal energy on the stock before then. It's not there, but I can say simply because AMC typically does follow the moon phases. Sometimes next week we should start seeing green just because we are on a waxing period. But if we don't, and this new moon brings us down, and we get like a double downshift, which that did happen one time on a waxing period. The waning period went down, wax period went down. So yeah, if that were to happen, then we could see that $17 level. It's not likely because again, we didn't go past this $20 level, but that would be the most bearish scenario. Obviously, based on the fact that we're heading towards a new moon and we're in a waxing period, then the price action based on the moon timing would go up to the upside. Then what we're looking for is us to be above this $28 level, and that will more than likely take us to the $34 level. Like now, ideally, before the next full moon, which is in 2 weeks, I want to see us over the $34 level. That way, we have clear a green light to pop back to the 40s. Okay, now. That's just what's going on with the moon phases. We're, of course, going to look at the overall astrology chart for AMC to get more information. Unfortunately, this moon phase isn't giving us a lot of information. It's just all we have is historical trends at this point because there's no indication that we're going to start reversing. Okay. Now, I guess the 2 days before, the 29th and the 30th, we did have some green days, but then all the green just got taken away on that last Friday. Okay, very disappointing. But we know that's fucking manipulation, and we simply need to hold. Okay, so go ahead and hit that like button to show some support. I appreciate that. Let's jump into the charts. Welcome to the Market Moon Lord, where we merge the matrix with the stars. I'm your host, Jason Alexander, the Blue Moon of Neptune, here to help you navigate through the illusions of life. Okay, so you guys know it's New Year's time. I gotta only give you guys really key points. I'm not gonna just go on my normal typical rants during this. Okay, so this video is gonna be shorter than usual, but I'm gonna give you guys what you need to know. And remember, I'm gonna tell you exactly why I made my prediction. This is the month that we could definitely see a squeeze. Now, first of all, I have Sunday pulled up, January 2nd, 2022 for AMC because it's the new moon. And that new moon you can see right here is directly on top of AMC's Pluto for a conjunction. We know Pluto is sudden changes, sudden ups and downs, transformations, company takeovers. This is really good energy for volatility, really good energy for the company making huge moves, really good energy for the stock making sudden changes. Okay, so that right off the rip is telling me this new moon into this full moon could be powerful because Pluto represents power, the sun represents illumination. The moon represents the masses, okay? And they're all together on this new moon. And another thing about this new moon is it's directly opposite AMC moon in Cancer, which is also very bullish energy for me, okay? So we could definitely see some very interesting transformations coming into this next 2 weeks for this new moon phase. Let's check out Monday. Okay, so I felt like I was a little too hyped in that last recording. I don't know what was going on, but I feel like I was using a different voice or something. I think maybe I had too many drinks. Anyway, actually, yeah. Okay, so we have Monday pulled up, 9:30 market open. Let's go. Look at this, guys. Look at all that energy we have in the first house of AMC. We know the first house for the stock represents the face of the company, and this first house is now getting a lot of energy with Mercury in there, which represents news, Saturn, which represents building, and Jupiter, which has a lot to do with expanding, all in AMC's first house. So in AMC's squeezed the first time when it went to 20, or the FOMO, wherever that was. We had a lot of first house energy, including the sun and the moon was in there. This week, we're going to have Mercury in there, Saturn in there, Jupiter in there, and the moon will be there later this week, okay? And again, the first time we squeezed, we had Mercury, Saturn, Jupiter, and the moon all in the first house. Now, the sun will be in there later this month, which is another reason why I say this is a very interesting month as well. But the biggest thing that I want to point out is what's happening with my guy Jupiter, the planet of expansion, okay? Now, the last time Jupiter was here was literally on May 26th, okay? Jupiter is now 1 degree Pisces, okay? And it was exactly there on May 26th when we began that run up to $72. Now, Jupiter since then went backwards, and now it's going forward again to hit that same exact spot in Pisces, okay? So when it happened in May 26th, AMC went 19%, and then the following day went 35%, and then it went 22%. Then we had a slight negative 1%, and then we ran up to $72, guys, okay? So Jupiter is in the same exact spot as in Pisces, and it's conjunct AMC's Neptune, also in the sign of Pisces. We know Neptune has a lot to do with imagination, creativity, illumination. It rules Hollywood along with Pisces. This is a perfect energy. Jupiter being right on top of it for a squeeze, okay? Not to mention we have all this other first house energy. So this is literally one of the biggest reasons why I say this month could be the squeeze month. Another reason, Saturn is also going to be in the first house and in the same exact degree it was in back in January when it happened the first time. Now, this time, Saturn will no longer be retrograde, but it will be going forward, which is another bullish indicator for me. And then Pluto is also in the same exact degree, and before it was also retrograde, and now it's going forward. And we know when something's retrograde, it's more of a time of things getting it's more of a speed bump, things getting slowed down, okay? When things are direct, which they are now, it's more of a green light, forward. So this is a very, very interesting time for AMC, having all these planets in the same exact position, but going forward this time. And while we're having all this other first house energy, not to mention Mercury is conjunct AMC's ascendant, and that represents news. We know Mercury is a big player for AMC, and ascendant is again the persona, the face of the company, okay? So we could get some major catalyst news on top of that with Mercury right there. Now, you guys know it's not like me to put out squeeze dates, but this is a time frame that I've been looking at for months. So I got to call it how I see it. But don't worry, March looks even better. We're going to have way more first house energy around March 4th, okay? So this could just be the run up before the major squeeze. I do think this week, and then the next 2 weeks coming into the full moon, we have a lot of good indications for a really big pop. We have Jupiter in the same exact degree. So remember, Jupiter represents expansion, and it's right on top of Neptune and Pisces, which represents Hollywood, okay? And last time this happened, we went to $72. So I'm really, really, really optimistic for this next 2 weeks. And I'm just going to leave it at that for today's DD to show you guys the big aspects I'm looking for. Let me know in the comments if that's lining up with anyone else's DD. Do you guys see a potential squeeze or a big, melt up coming into this month? I'm very curious to know that. And I just want to say thank you again for everyone who watches this channel. Like, my gosh, it's been an entire year. It's the anniversary. Thank you. It's been quite a journey. I appreciate you guys. And if you're new here and haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. Any likes, I would greatly appreciate that. And check us out at the Market Moonlord Discord. A lot of great people are in there. Guys, we just have to hold, and then we're all going to be swimming in some major tendies, okay? So we've been waiting this long. Why not wait longer, okay? So I'm Jason Alexander, the Blue Moon of Neptune, here to help you navigate through the illusions of life. Until next time, peace.
Jason Alexander, the Blue Moon of Neptune.